Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, I threw some stuff up on the community boards asking for questions, and you guys came through. Appreciate it. This one is kind of... there's a couple questions. One, will Matt Gaetz ever face justice? Likewise, Jim Jordan and all the other conspirators in the House and Senate. Commingled with, will the unindicted co-conspirators in Jack Smith's January 6th charge ever face justice? And I think what I want to read on is moving past Donald Trump and the January 6th case. I want to look at the energy of Jack Smith and the unindicted co-conspirators and their support. It's kind of that next, it's almost like next two tiers, right? So there's like 6 unindicted co-conspirators beyond Trump. Then after those 6, then you're going after a whole bunch of people. So I want to read on the 6 unindicted co-conspirators and then maybe follow up with the next tier after that. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Entertainment purposes only. What's the energy around the January 6th case, not involving Trump's case with Judge Chutkan, but the unindicted co-conspirators? How is that going to pan out? Ace of Cups. Strong emotions, strong passion. I think what you have here is a very dedicated special prosecutor. You've got a very dedicated investigation, and let's say they manage to go to trial with Donald Trump and he's able to stand trial. They're not stopping there. They're not stopping with the whitehead. They're going to go for all the stuff underneath the zit too. Sorry. Crossed with the hermit. Yeah, because they've done the investigation. They're seeing the big conspiracy that went on. You know, Donald Trump didn't do this by himself. He had a lot of support, a lot of helping hands, a lot of very passionate people who quite happily would have gotten rid of this democracy. And underneath it all is the 8 of coins. I believe Jack Smith's and the FBI and the Department of Justice have done thorough investigations in this, and it could very well be that they've followed the money. Now, they've done the work, and I think they followed the money with the Hermit card here. They know who's involved. Not only the next 6, but the folks after that. In the past, we've got the World card. Okay, so picture this being, as I set this up, this is after Donald Trump's trial. So they've had the trial, or they've brought the case to a close against Donald Trump. But this is also, this is that insurrection trying to prevent the peaceful transfer of power. So you've had that problem, which is why they're here in the first place. But then this is going to be post-Trump trial too. As they go after these folks, there's going to be heartbreaks and betrayals. People betraying their oath. I pledge allegiance to the flag. That crowd under God. I love the Constitution. It's the greatest document. It and the Bible are my favorite 2 documents in the world. That crowd, the ones that would wrap themselves up in flags, call their super PACs Patriot this or Liberty that. That crowd. The ones who pledge their undying loyalty to the United States so long as it's an autocracy, an oligarchy, and they're in charge. Not the United States we've had for the last 250-something years. It's the new United States that they wanted. The overarching energy is the High Priestess. They know who's done what. Just because they haven't brought him yet doesn't mean they don't know who's done what. It's now just a question of timing. Okay? So don't think folks are getting off scot-free here. They're not. It's just literally a matter of timing. And the lesson to be learned from their betrayals in the timing is that 5 of Swords, those 6 unindicted co-conspirators, they're not going anywhere. And then the folks underneath it, they're not going anywhere either. There's going to be a whole lot of accountability happening here. Because, again, I believe the Democrats will hold the presidency, the Senate, and the House, which means the House can crank it up to 11 on investigations into this and finally make some headroom or some headway in this. That and the Department of Justice by this point should have been cleared out of the Trumpers, such that even Merrick Garland's house, his Department of Justice, or whoever's heading up the Department of Justice at that point, can go full speed ahead on these folks. Yeah, and the outcome is justice, and they're coming for them. They are coming for them big time. Betrayed this country for your own selfish wants and needs, and the full weight of the law finally is coming. I mean, it's only been 3.5 years since the coup, right? And we still haven't had a trial on it. Got some indictments. Supreme Court's holding stuff up now. Now, the junior lieutenants. We've got the lieutenants that are up next. What about the junior lieutenants? It looked like the junior lieutenants are going to be held to account as well, but let's look at those. That's that next tier that are beyond the 6 unindicted co-conspirators. It's going to be like your Matt Gaetzes and your Marjorie Taylor Greens and your Jim Jordans and Ted Cruz's and stuff like that. And honestly, I don't think being out of politics is going to save you on this one. So, I'll just resign. Yeah, go ahead and resign. We're still coming for you. Just because it's such an egregious act that you cannot ignore it. Ignoring it is to your own peril and your own detriment. Okay, entertainment purpose only. What about the next wave? The junior lieutenants here, as it were. The junior lieutenants, some might try and plea out. But if you're going to do that, you should have already done it at this point. That's the problem when they've worked their way all the way to the top. There's not much room for the pleas for the folks underneath it. Unless you're planning on pleading and throwing yourself on the mercy of the court. Basically, any plea deals they try and take aren't going to be very good. And the we were young, naive, and just following orders argument isn't really going to fly either. But mind you, these are the junior lieutenants. They're not the main lieutenants here. Crossed by the strength card. And the betrayal here. Maybe what's working in their favor is they're not the masterminds. They're just the doers. Other people came up with the plans. But, the coups don't happen by themselves. The coup needs a lot of people involved with it. And, your sentence may not be as, your crimes or your culpability may not be as deep or dire as the lieutenants, but that doesn't mean you're going to get off scot-free. Underneath it all is the betrayal. Because, again, this is one of those things where they betrayed their oath to the Constitution and their oath to the American people. And they tried to overthrow democracy. You cannot let this stuff go. Oops. There's the double card. How ironic that's there. In the past, you got the star card. Again, it's been 3.5 years. Some of these folks, I'm sure, have been interviewed by the FBI and the Department of Justice, and nothing's happened to them yet. So, they might start thinking that they're scot-free. They've gotten off scot-free here. Current situation, though, I think that, again, I think the FBI and the DOJ are holding things tight to the vest here. They haven't come after him yet. They don't have to come after him right now. They're going after the top. And then after they're going after the top, they're going to go to the heart of the matter. And then after they go to this for the quote-unquote mastermind, then they're going to go for the people, the heart-and-mind, the people that made it work. And then they're going to go for the foot soldiers or the lieutenants, the lower grade lieutenants here. It's part of a process. The way they're doing this is part of a process and a plan, the way that DOJ wants to do this. The lesson to be learned, I think all of us would like to have seen this thing done quickly, but it could very well be that the Department of Justice moved slowly to go fast. In other words, by keeping things close to the vest, having a plan and sticking to it, and waiting for timing, they're going to get everybody that was involved in it, or most everybody that's involved with it. Otherwise, they might get a scattering of people, like, you know, a couple or three people, but not like 30 or 40 of them. And you want them to get everybody, because you don't want to give these folks a second chance to do it again. There's the devil card. The outcome is the devil. I think that they're going to get a lot of the junior foot soldiers, and that could lead to more trials. Probably at some point, you know, it seems incredible because, you know, all this winning, why would we want to stop winning? At some point, the DOJ or we are going to get tired of prosecuting people for their roles in it. So it's kind of up to the DOJ to sort of figure out where's the cutoff. You know, we obviously want the 6 unindicted co-conspirators as well as Trump to face justice, and we probably want the next tier of people to face justice. Again, your Matt Gaetzes, your Lauren Boeberts if she was involved, your Marjorie Taylor Greenes, Ted Cruz's, Chuck Grassley, those folks. But then, do you want the next ones? Yeah, we probably want the next ones too. We want their aides, and we want other folks that were doing, you know, probably like your Stephen Millers and your Kash Patels and your Steve Bannons, and Steve Bannon might be a lieutenant, but, you know, the folks that Steve Bannon was telling to do stuff that did stuff. Again, your Stephen Millers, your Kash Patels, your Boris Epsteins, and the various other folks that could very well be involved in all this, because it didn't happen on its own. I don't want to read any more on this. I don't know what else I want to ask. We'll just leave it there at this one. I'll keep it short. You guys can enjoy some other videos this morning too. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Check out my other channels. I've got Tarot of the Seven Seas, which is my international tarot channel, and Twin Tarot with Gary and David, which is my tarot channel, just like this one, but it's with my identical twin brother Gary. It's pretty much the same as this, except two of us on there laughing and having even more fun. So if either of those sound interesting to you, check them out. Links in the community page, and I'll put it on the description as well. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.